Hello and welcome back to Modern Operations, Command Modern Operations. So last episode we took a look at the forces that we have in this scenario, and now it's time to actually start the mission. So first things first, I'm going to set up some missions. So let's define an area that covers the surface action group and the carrier action group. Well, we can actually make like a bar cap, because this is going to be a combat air patrol. So we have the area set, so let's go to add a new mission. Air intercept, that's fine, and we're gonna call this cap. There we go, boom. And we're going to assign some FA-18s to it. Let's see, I want the ones with the AMRAAMs, the Fs. Oh, here we are. So there's quite a few of them, and we'll assign all of them to the mission. There's 8 of them, but I don't want to have all 8 of them in the air at the same time, so we're going to set flight size 2 aircraft per section or flight. That's good. Oh, here we go. Maximum number of flights allowed to fly the mission. We'll set that to two flights. So basically, we have 4 aircraft on combat air patrol at all times. Radar usage, I believe. Well, let's keep that as it is. Is there anything else? No, I think that's fine. So we set up the cap mission. Then we are also going to set up a AWACS mission. Let's set it closer to the carrier strike group. Add a new mission. We'll do a support mission and we'll call this AWACS. And we are going to assign some Hawkeyes. I'll only assign one, because it's going to be able to stay in the air for quite some time. Active emissions only on station. Let's do that. I think that I might have to manually set the MCON. I guess we could actually do this. So set active radar. Yes, so we'll see that, or hopefully it will activate its radar once it's in the air. What else? Well, there is also, we want some tanker support. Not that I don't think we really need to, because we'll probably run out of munitions before we actually run out of fuel. But what the hell, let's set up a tanker mission. Wanted to add new mission, here we go. So we call this tanker station. Let's set that to support, and we will, oops, goddamn, we'll assign some of the KC-135s. I think we'll assign 3 of them, but there's only going to be 1 of them in the air. Forced flight, that's all good. Okay, have that set up, as you can see, the tanker station. What else? Well, guess we could probably set up a seed mission as well. Let's set that within the cap area. So let's add a new mission. We'll call this seed. And there is, I believe, a seed patrol. Yes, there is, so let's do that. And we're going to find the growlers. Here they are. We got 4 of them, but 1 is unavailable. So we'll assign these guys. So there's 3 of them. That's, well, I guess that's fine. So 1/3 rule. We do not want them to investigate unknown contacts outside the patrol area. And I do not want them to investigate unknown contacts within weapon range. I don't want them to start engaging targets on their own. Section 2 aircraft, sure. Okay, everything looks good. So we got that set up. Yeah, that's enough for now. So for some reason, when you start the scenario, all of the units are a full stop. So we're going to change that for the Texas. We want it to go something like to 15 knots. That's fine. Avoid cavitation, and we want it to be just over the layer, the thermal layer. Boom, there we go. The Zumwalt surface action group, we want them to go cruise, that's 20 knots. Yeah, let's have them go 20 knots. And the amphibious ready group, let's have them go flank speed. As you can see, flank speed is only 22 knots, so they won't be able to catch up with the surface action group, but that's fine. The carrier group, let's have you go to, you can do 15 knots, that's fine. And this UAV, the Triton, you don't want it to go too close to the airbase and any potential surface to air missile sites, so we'll have it swing out a bit over the Gulf instead. That is the setup for the forces over here. So we're going to go down to Diego Garcia because there's some other aircraft that we want to launch. So the KC-135s have a mission. Since there are some Iranian submarines, we'll get one of the Poseidons into the air with some torpedoes and some Sunoboys. We probably want to set up a like a barrier with Sunoboys ahead of the surface action group. That's gonna be tricky though because of Iranian aircraft, but we'll see. And we'll launch another UAV. That's fine. Okay, so we got that set up. We have some short-range tankers at Djibouti, but I don't think we'll need them for now. Alright, so let's start the scenario. So the screen is probably going to be quite cluttered. Yes, here we see, we're gonna see all these emissions. So we have identified a merchant. Yeah, here you can see all the emissions that are the UAV is picking up. So there's a lot of surface contacts, probably navigation radars. So what we will do is to filter all of these out because these are civilian ships. I know that for a fact. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. I wish there was a hotkey for filter out, but there isn't. Get these off the map. There's a lot of classifications going on, which is fine, but This one was actually, no, this one was the MV Queen Marguerite. I do not know the nationality of that, but filter out. There we go. We have a goblin. Is this a surface contact? No, this is probably an underwater contact. Goblin, yeah, it's an underwater contact. So who is detecting it? Here you can see, let's pause it. When you look at a contact, you can actually see which unit is picking it or is detecting the contact, and you can also see the specific sensor on the unit that is detecting the contacts. This is the ANTB34, so I believe this is a the towed sonar array. You can double check that. Yes, it is. So the Texas is picking up something beneath the waves. That is a bit worrisome. So I think we'll have the Texas get a bit closer to check that out, because it's quite close to the surface action group. Do any one of these, the Farragut has a sonar, definitely. It actually has a towed sonar. Okay, but apparently only the Texas sensors are, well, I guess these guys are going pretty fast. They're doing 20 knots, so their sonar acuity is degraded because of the speed. But we'll have the Texas swing around, take a look at that contact. Hopefully it's not an Iranian sub. So let's continue. Let's put it to group view. Let's continue on. We can speed it up just a tad bit until something happens. We've got another one classified as a merchant. Yeah, so all these lines represent the bearing of the different emissions. So you can see this really large one, I believe, is for the SA-10, is it? Kind of hard to tell, but this is basically, you see it's getting larger the further away it is from the UAV. So this is basically the unknown. This is a what would you call it? Like a margin of error, basically, on the position of the emission. So we are probably going to see this SA-10 jump around because we don't have a good solution, a good fix on its actual position. And here we have a mobile jammer of Russian type, apparently. And we have a tin shield radar. I believe this is a... Oops, goddamn. I believe this is a radar for the SA-10. Yes, they include the SA-10 and the SA-20. So this is a acquisition radar for the SA-10. If we would zoom out, you can see this white circle, which is the radar range. If we take a look at the SA-10, you can see it's got a smaller white circle. This is the acquisition range. And this red circle is the actual range of the SA-10 system, the missiles. So we want to try to stay out of that as much as possible. Let's continue on. See, the Texas is swinging around. Can speed it up. Some more classifications. Hearing a prop plane taking off, so this is the AWACS, or the Hawkeye. I'm hearing some jet aircraft as well. That might be the Poseidon or the KC-135. And we have two. Okay, that's the Poseidon, and we also have the what is this? That's the UAV. Okay. Got more classifications. It's a lot of them. Filter them out. So a lot of civilian ships, merchants going around. But as you can tell, no ships in the Straits of Hormuz, which is what the briefing said, that most commercial traffic has ceased because of Iranian attacks. So the time beneath this contact means that we haven't picked it up on any sensors for about 4 minutes. And that is of course because we are basically facing it, so the towed array can't pick it up. So that was a mistake on my part. So let's have it go like laterally or perpendicular to the target, so that the most sensitive sensor, which is the towed array, can pick up the contact again, or acquire the contact. And here we have something in the air. That's a P3 Orion flying around. That is a priority target because it does have radar that can acquire our surface ships. So we don't want that. We don't want it to relay that information to attack aircrafts, or possibly even anti-ship missile batteries. This is the seed. Yep, these are the growlers coming up on station. That's the Hawkeye, and this is the first flight of Super Hornets that are assigned to the CAP mission. Classifying merchants. There's a lot of ships. The UAV, are you flying at max altitude? Let's set it to max altitude. You can also set the Hawkeye to max altitude to get the most out of the radar range. And the radar is not active, so let's activate the radar. So as you can see, this white circle is the radar range, and this is the range for detecting airborne targets. This yellow circle is for surface targets. So obviously it's more capable at detecting air targets, and that is what we want. So we see the seed aircrafts are being jammed, and they are being jammed by this mobile jammer over here. As you can see, we don't really have a good fix on the SA-10. See the margin of error, but we know it's somewhere within this area. So I guess the fix is better than before. And that is most likely because we have more sensors able to detect it. Earlier we only had the UAV, now we have some of the FA-18s seeing the emissions from the SA-10. So we got a better fix. The more sensors you have, the better, because you can kind of triangulate the position. And that is what you want. Bit worrisome that we're not picking this guy up. So let's try to go under the layer, the thermal layer, see if this is a submarine and we're not picking it up. It might be below the thermal layer. So we'll take a listen below the layer, because it's been 12 minutes since we last had contact with the underwater contact. So not much else going on. Let's speed it up to, what's that? That's the Orion. Okay. Let's set it to 5 times speed for now. So the it below the layer? No, it's not. Just under the layer. Okay, so apparently that order didn't go through. Now it's going below. Still no contact. So this might not be a submarine. It can be biologics. Well, I really want to decrease the range to get as close as possible. Because if that is a submarine, that's bad. Can we set this group to not cavitate? No, we cannot. But it isn't. Yeah, it is cavitating. You can see it says cav, which means that the ships are cavitating, which is pretty standard for surface ships, but it means that enemy submarines will have a easier time firing them. Here we go, the cap aircraft. All of these are being jammed. Now, did we actually, or did I? No, let's set offensive ECM. Let's take a look at the ECM pod. There it is, but it doesn't say. I guess we'll have to look. Where is the ALQ-99F? There we go. What's the range? It doesn't say the range. So maybe the range doesn't matter. It doesn't have any max range, so I guess it is jamming. I don't know. Doesn't seem like the Poseidon or the Orion, sorry, is being jammed, so I don't know. Here we go, we got the KC-135 going. Oh, we want to set some waypoints for the UAV and the Poseidon, because I did not do that. Go. Okay, we've got waypoints set up for them because they're not assigned to a mission. So I'm going to have to manually put some waypoints. So the aircraft on cap duty are definitely tracking the Orion. And this looks like a pretty good solution, but the plan is that I'm going to attack the SA-10 using Tomahawk missiles from the surface group, the Zumwalt surface group. But I want to have as good fix as possible, because I don't want some of the Tomahawks to go for the airbase. I will attack the airbase, but I think I'm going to use something else than the Tomahawks. I'm probably going to use I guess something that can wreck the I'm at a loss for words, but I can show you. As you can see, this satellite imagery, it hasn't the best solution, but you can see these are two airstrips. So if we get out of group view, we can see that these are runways. Runway was the word I was looking for, by the way. And these are runway access points. We have some tarmac space for aircrafts. We have some hardened aircraft shelters, so as you can see, the aircraft will go from the shelters up to the runway access point and then onto the runway itself. Here we have tarmac space, got an ammo pad, tarmac space, we have a terminal building, and we have some underground fuel tanks, more aircraft shelters. Do we have something else? An ammo bunker, open parking spot for large aircraft. So you can see this, you basically can hit single targets instead of having, you know, the airbase only being one single unit. So that is cool, that you can actually see it on the real satellite imagery is pretty awesome as well. There's a lot of stuff. We still do not have contact with this goblin, which makes me a bit worried, because if it is a kilo, the kilo is quite stealthy. What I might actually do is to send out a Seahawk. Let's see if the amphibious ready group, do they have Seahawks? Got the Ospreys, and we have some Nighthawks. No. So we'll have to use one from the carrier. Well, actually, we might have. Well, yeah, of course, the destroyers have some. They had a Fire Scout, and they have some Seahawks. So this is a Sunuboy, well, an anti-submarine helicopter, basically. So let's actually launch one of them and have it go over here and use its dipping sonar to see if we can pick this contact up again. That's the May. Okay, the AWACS is on station. He is at 30,000 feet. That's fine. So let's go over the layer then. Here we go. We got the Seahawk helicopter, airborne. Should have a dipping sonar. Yep, there we go. That's the dipping sonar. We could also lay down some Sunuboys. So let's give it a waypoint. Go over there. Let's see. It will probably take it 20 minutes. Well, it's less than 20 minutes to get there. Oh yeah, the time to target is going down. Not that far away. 20 nautical miles away. So we'll get the helicopter to investigate that underwater contact. And if it is a Iranian submarine, we are going to deal with it as soon as possible. So let's speed up just a bit. I also want to deal with that jammer because it's jamming my aircraft. Seems like they are going outside the mission area, so they might be going after the Orion. Doesn't say they are going to offensive, but it almost looked like one of them were, or they both were going outside. Picking up something else, probably a radar. Oh, yep. An AN TPS 70, looks like an early warning radar or an acquisition radar, basically, search radar. Ooh, and look at this. We're picking up some more aircraft coming in from the northwest. Oh, there we go. These are J-10 fighters, Chinese fighters. So these are quite capable. They can carry... they have a radar range of about 60 nautical miles. That's pretty bad. But they do have... that's interesting. They can actually carry some Chinese Randall copies, which are basically runway cratering bombs, but they are probably not having those on board right now. So we got some PL-8Bs, Pythons. These are short range infrared guided missiles, and we have the PL-12, which is the longer range BVR missile. It's probably like the AMRAAM. Let's take a look at that if we can find it. There we go, the PL-12. Yep, as you can see, it kind of looks like a AMRAAM as well. Okay, it's roughly equivalent to the American AIM-120A, B, and C. Okay, so that's the most capable weapon so far. Yeah, these guys are definitely going offensive by the looks of it, or at least one of them is. Station R. What does that mean? Station R. What? I don't know. Never seen that before. Yeah, he's definitely going after that Orion. But he is going to get within range of this SA-10, so that's something we want to avoid. And we got some more aircraft. They don't seem to be part of the J-10 squadron. So these are probably something else. See if we can get a classification. Oh, there we go. These are some Tomcats. Some Tomcat A's. So these can carry the AN or AIM-54 Phoenix missiles, which have a very long range. But it has a pretty crappy radar system. Yeah, late 1970s technology. So these are some real old aircraft. I'm not too worried about them. Yeah, they're definitely locked onto the Orion. Or... oh hey, the Hawk is in position, so we want it to... well, it's almost in position, but I think this green circle is the underwater sensor. Yeah. Okay, so let's actually have it where is it? Should be a way to, here we go, deploy dipping sonar. So let's have it slow down and use the dipping sonar. What is that saying? Auto, so it's basically tracking this. I don't know. Deploying dipping sonar. Okay, so it's gonna take a while for it to deploy that. You can see 3 minutes 37 seconds until the dipping sonar is in the water. And the SA-10. Okay, so we got a very good fix on the SA-10. So we, it might be time to set up a attack using tomahawks. But this video has been going for over 30 minutes, so I'm going to end it here, and we'll set up the tomahawk attack in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.